everyone. How are you doing today? Yes, it is morning. It is Saturday morning, March 6th, 2021, and I am not prepared at all. I should have pulled up what March 6th is in National Days. March 6th, National Day is... Oh. Now, why did that come up differently today? March 6th. N-A-T-I-O-N-A National Day. March 6th is National Dentist Day, National Dress Day, and National Frozen Food Day. There's actually a website that tells me about all this. And National Oreo Cookie Day. Who would have thought? I'm actually going to save this website. All right then. So, if you are a dentist, happy your day. Or if you like to wear dresses, you might want to wear a dress today. But I don't know if you want to wear a dress in New Jersey today because it's frigidly cold. So it is 7:15 in the morning. I am up bright and early and I am filming for you. This is going to be a slightly different video today as I am changing the way I do things. But before we do that, I'm fiddling around with stuff. Let me go through a few things that I wanted to touch base on. So, first off, I had mentioned yesterday that I got some, I was waiting for a thing in the mail, I had ordered these from Amazon. So these came in from Amazon last night after I filmed. These are, I got a set of two. They are just basically rolling carts that you actually have to screw the wheels on. I would strongly suggest if you order them, don't use the screwdriver that comes with the thing because it's just going to rip your hand apart. Use the screwdriver that you own, that you've paid good money for. It's much more... Oh, it is now after 7 o'clock because my light came on for my Thanksgiving cactus. I would strongly suggest that you use screwdriver if you have one. You can make do. I did the entire first one with the screwdriver that came with the wheelie carts, but yes, so I have one underneath my braided money tree, and then I have an extra one, so whenever I get another plant that's too big, or I have something that I want to put on a wheelie cart, I can do that. But it was cheaper to get two instead of one. So I just went ahead and got the 2-pack. Plus, I wanted round. I didn't want the square ones because if I get pots that are, round pots should go in round things. So that way then, as the pots get bigger, they cover up more space and less of this is actually shown. And the reason I got these are, so if I have pots sitting on the floor, actually I do have something for this to sit under. So that's a moot point what I just said. But when I have things sitting on the floor, especially flower pots, when you water them, water does float to the bottom, obviously. And that moisture in clay ceramic pots can seep down through, start to cause mold, mildew, those kind of things. I have wood laminate floors, so I don't want to cause any damage to the floors. So by having this, it'll have plenty of aeration underneath, keep it nice and dry, no damage to the floors. So that's why I got these rolling carts. So I'm going to put this under the other plant that I actually have over here near the window, and we'll be good to go. But when the Amazon delivery driver person, I don't know who it was because they just knock and run away anymore, dropped the stuff off in front of my door. There was actually 2 packages there because somebody sent me some kindness or exuded kindness my way. So remember, these videos are all about exuding kindness in the world because we need to put more kindness out there. It's never, and there's never enough kindness out there in the world. And my friend, who I've met a few times and got to hang out with a few times. One, she came here whenever Caroline came to visit the first time. Letitia from the creative curator. Why didn't I not like prepare? I always mess up her name. I'm sorry, Letitia, but I always get you and the other wonderful person in, yeah, the crafty curator mixed up. So Letitia is the crafty curator, and she sent me these because she knew I was talking about them, and it's wonderful that she sent them to me, and I really do appreciate it, Letitia. Thank you so much. And one thing, let me finish this first. I'm getting sidetracked. So these are those magnetic silicone ties that you can buy, and a lot of people are now talking about them on their channels or on Instagram to hold the fabric around, like whenever they have excessively large amounts of fabric on their Q-snaps, which I'm going to show you one today, which I have not opened this yet. I'm going to crack this open probably today, maybe tomorrow. These will help rein in that excessive amount of fabric, and then you won't have so much hanging around. Supposedly, this works extremely well. Letitia uses these. Other people use these. I have been teetering back and forth about buying these a pack on Amazon, but there's so many selection on Amazon, and I had no clue what to buy, and now I don't have to worry about it because she sent me a set. So thank you very much, Letitia. But if you don't know who Letitia is, I'm going to link her below. You need to go check her out. Lately, she's been putting up bi-weekly, weekly, whenever she films videos, which she needs to film another one soon, of a stash library parade haul. Everything she has in her like projects that are started or just in her bins ready to be started, and it is inspiring. And there's a couple on there that I have been like, maybe I should go check it out. Now, I have resisted the urge to buy yet. And there's a couple that I'm like, I keep thinking about in the back of my mind, and then I go look online, and then I'm like, nope, I can wait. So go check her out. I will link her below. So, all right. This is going to be a long video today, I think, because this is just the first of many parts, and it's only 7 o'clock in the morning, and I have coffee. I haven't even had coffee yet today. This is my first drink of coffee. I am in my pea cup, which I referrally call. Because my last initial is P. My brother got this for me many Christmases ago for Christmas. Yeah, that was weird. Okay, so today's video, last night, I was kind of feeling like my mojo, my bug, my crafting energy was fleeting. I think it's back. Yeah, it was short-lived. And the reason is that last night after I was, like, this is like later in the evening, 10 o'clock, 9:45, I don't know, between 9 and 11, I was done playing my computer game, because I did play my computer game most of the evening. I played Anno, A-N-N-O, 1800. I've been playing that since December. It's my new kind of like obsession. I am a computer gamer. I like the ones that you build things, like city builder games. This one is a little bit more of a city builder, like an island simulation city builder, as well as there's also war and stuff like that. Trade, war, all that kind of stuff. It's part of the Anno series, if you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, so I was playing that last night. And then I kind of got a little bit bored of that. I can only play for so long. And then I decided, I'm going to go over and sit on the couch and do some knitting. So I did some knitting while I was watching some FlossTube. Well, Caroline from Off the Grid Needle Arts, and I'm going to link her video from last night below. Her video yesterday was what inspired me to do this. So she talked yesterday, and if you are interested, I'm only going to give the very basics, because I really don't know all that much information about it. And I listened to her video. I'm like, I'm going to do this. So she talked about choosing so many projects, focusing on those projects, and setting a timer. Now, we all know I don't do well with that kind of stuff. But then I also don't do smalls. And I was doing a whole bunch of smalls at the beginning of the year. And I also don't do primitive Quaker type stuff, but I did Coming to America. So I'm like, well, why don't I try this? And maybe this is either going to help my creativeness return, or it'll completely kill it. But I think it's helping so far. So what she found this app that I actually am using as well, and it's called Multi-Timer. Let me just make sure that the dimness is down far enough that you can see. It's called Multi-Timer. So where she got this idea from is from a knitting podcast, which if you want to know more about it, go check out Caroline's video. And they talk about using 5 projects, but this timer has 6. So I'm going to do the Caroline thing and do what Caroline does. And I'm going to choose 6 because I have more than 6 projects on the go. And this is all of my crafting. This is not just cross stitch. So I have 6 projects picked out. I did start last night with my timer. I was going to wait until today and start my timer. But then I was like, well, then I wanted to do some after I had this all organized. So I went ahead and started one of my timers last night. So basically you take your projects, you choose what you want to do, you set your timers for 12 hours, and whenever you work on them, you have the timer running. And after the time period that you choose, which I guess for this method is 12 hours, you either change out the project that you're working on. Maybe the project is finished and you can completely either pick a new project to work on, maybe have a new start if that's what your reasoning is behind the plan, or you can restart the timer and give the project another 12 hours. But during that 12 hours, your sole focus is on that project. Now, with the fact that I have 6 projects, I can go back and forth between those 6 projects without having to completely finish one timer before moving on to the next timer. So This segment of the video, I'm going to show you the 6 projects that I have chosen for my first 6 12-hour timers, and then talk to you about my method behind this. So first, let me show you my 6 projects. So my 6 projects are either ones that I want to see, and let me show you my projects. The first 6 projects are, first off, my Steelers sock. So this is the completed one. I want to try to get the second one done. I'm going to get the second one done. I don't think that this is going to take 6 hours, or not 6 hours, 12 hours. I did do work on it last night, so this is also a progress update. So last night I did go ahead and put in the heel. Now I'm going to tell you, I'm not happy with this yarn at all. I'm not happy with the fact that with this yarn is and I know a lot of people love the Stroll yarn. This was a Stroll Gradient Duo, which means that it was 2 50-gram cakes of yarn. This is a cake. Mine is looking pretty shabby just because I'm doing a pull from the center. I'm not happy with the fact, and I brought the other finished one over because you can see how long the gray section was, and then the black section, and then where the gray section started. So the gray section started before the heel. Now, I had pretty much the same amount of tail on the first sock as I did the second sock, because I know with these types of socks with 2 different cakes, you need to have about the same so that the socks match. My socks don't match. My gray on the second sock didn't start until halfway through the heel. And there's really no way to fix that. I mean, I could pull this out and have it start, but then I'm not going to have enough gray to go up the length of the gray on. I think in my second cake, the gray section is much smaller than the first cake. It's kind of frustrating, but it's just going to be what it's going to be, and it's going to have 2 different. It's going to have a slightly mismatching sock. But unfortunately, this one has a beautiful gradient the whole way up the front of the sock. This sock is going to have a line right where the 2 colors match, or right where my heel and my foot come together. But anyways, I put in the heel. So the heel is in. So now I'm just going to go ahead and knock out the remaining 115 rows of the leg. So this is going to be project number 1 of my 12-hour timer. Again, I don't think this is going to take 12 hours to complete. I could very well be wrong. And again, this is another great thing that I can kind of monitor how much time it takes for me to do some of the projects that I do. Because we all say as crafters, oh, that's not going to take that much time. And then it takes us like 5 times longer than what we thought it was going to take. And I'm one of those people that usually whenever I sit down to craft, I focus. I sit down, I focus. I don't get up unless I have to go to use the bathroom. So now today I have to go get my second vaccine for COVID. So I'm going to take this with me because whenever you get your vaccines, you have to sit around for 15, 20 minutes. So I can sit around and knit and use up 15 minutes of my timer. And that'll be 15 minutes of knitting that I didn't have done before. So I am going to put a progress keeper on there just so as the day goes on, you guys can see how much progress I truly get on my pieces since the timer started. Okay, progress piece number 2 is my dishcloths. So And I say dishcloths, plural, because this is the first one I want to get done. So for my 12-hour timer, I want to work on this one and finish this one up. Again, this is not going to take me 12 hours. Most often, a dishcloth takes me 45 minutes to an hour, if I sit down and solely focus on it. Maybe 2 hours at the most. These boxy ones take a little bit longer just because of the detail of the different stitches. But I do have one other cake of dish yarn, and this is in just plain blue. Not plain blue. This is called blue. So I figure I will put dishcloths on the timer for 12 hours, and whatever I get done in that 12 hours is what I get done. So I have this dishcloth, this dishy sock. I have this cake or skein or whatever you want to call it of dishy to finish up. And then I have these 3 balls of scrap yarn left over. This is dishy. This is Hobby Lobby. I love this cotton. And this is another yarn that I bought at Hobby Lobby. Now, these obviously don't match with anything. Well, this could go with one of these blues if I wanted. This could probably go with a blue if I wanted. This one doesn't match anything. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this. But that's my plan. I don't know if using up all of that yarn is going to take 12 hours or not. I don't expect it to. But again, it'll be a nice case study to see how long it takes me to do that yarn. But once those cakes are gone, then I can stop that timer, put something new into that spot, and then move on from it with a new timer. My third timer is London. So here's London. There's what it'll look like when it's done. And here's my progress so far. So I'd like to get 12 hours into London. So my main plan during these 12 hours are to work over here, get this. I'm avoiding this. I don't know why. I just need to knock it out. This lamp post from the Buckingham Palace gate done, and then finish up Royal Albert Hall, and then start working on the roof of the Royal Gallery. And then we'll work on Westminster Towers over here. The towers of Westminster Abbey. I don't know how much I can get done in 12 hours, but we will find out. So that's number 3. Number 4 of 6 is British Isles. So British Isles, again, is a gift that is going to be for my friend who is the Anglophile. This is the one I truly want to use those silicone clips for, because what I'm doing currently right now is using the bobbin holder things on it, and it's just not working. I mean, it's enough for now, but you see how much fabric I have on both sides. It's just, I got to do something else. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to try using those with this, and I'm hoping that it will work a lot better. So here is my progress on that. I have not worked on this in a couple weeks. So we'll see how much I can get done in 12 hours. hopefully I can make some significant progress. Maybe I'll even have this entire page done and I can move on to another page. My last cross stitch piece on this, so I'm basically right now on this, I have 3 cross stitch and 3 knitting. I think that's a good way of focusing and then moving from there. I'm not going to always, it's not always going to be 3 cross stitch and 3 knitting. My main goal, I really want to get that pair of socks done, those dishcloth, all that dishcloth yarn done, and then I've been really just wanting to focus on these specific cross stitch pieces. So my last cross stitch piece is Long Dog Samplers Le Jardin de Plaisir. So here is, and I did do some progress on this last night, so this is a little bit of a progress update since last night, because I did stitch last night. Surprisingly, I didn't think I was going to, but I did put a few stitches in. And I wanted something that I was that was kind of almost mindless stitching after I was done sock knitting. So I went ahead and put in this row. I started this row of white stitches. And this is the one that I started the timer on. So I wanted to start the timer last night with this after I did this. So this was 38 minutes of stitching right here. So I started up here and I worked down to here. 38 minutes. And what I'm doing is, if I get distracted by my phone or something like that, I am actually pausing my timer. I'm not allowing the timer to continue running while if I get up and go to the restroom, or if my timer stops when I'm not actively stitching or whatever I'm doing. As long as it's related to the stitching, I'm allowing the timer to go. But if I get up, if I'm checking Instagram, text messaging, anything like that, I'm pausing the timer. So the very last project on number 6, or on my 6 timer thing, is one. It's knitting, and it's one you haven't seen for a while. But it has been calling to me. I have been I keep saying kind of all the time, and I'm really trying to break myself of that habit. This project I have been wanting to work on and just get some progress. I have no ambition of knocking it out and completely finishing it anytime soon. I would love to see it finished for a fall 2021 wearing season. But it is a sweater that I started last spring, so spring 2020. No, I think, and then I restarted it in like June or July 2020. And this is from the Arnie and Carlos Rowan it's the Rowan New Nordic Men's Collection by Arnie and Carlos. And the sweater I'm doing is the Vagard. So it's the first sweater I've done that is, because I like color work. I'm not really a person that, while, what are they called? Cables. Cables are starting to, I'm starting to be drawn towards cables more. I'm much more of a color work kind of guy. I like the look of color work. I like knitting color work. So this one definitely drew me in right away whenever I saw it. So this is a type of color work called Intarsia. I think I'm pronouncing that right. So I started it, but I am extremely slow at knitting on it. And whenever I was knitting on it, it just kind of frustrated me. And I think it frustrated me because I'm so slow on it. So this is a sweater that takes two different types of yarn. So I am using, it calls for Rowan yarn, but I don't have the budget to put into a sweater that I wear a few times a year for that. So I bought Valley Yarns Worthington, and this is a 50% wool, 25% alpaca, 25% viscose. And this is in the color, I want to say, oh, it's cashew. And the reason I had to restart was because the original colors I had didn't work. So the main body of the sweater is cashew. And then the Intarsia part, or the color work part, all you do is you hold together with this a piece of mohair silk. So 72% kid mohair, 28% mulberry silk. And mine is in the color blueberry, I think. Is it blueberry? I think it's called blueberry, but I can't find a name on here. It says color 20, but I think this was called blueberry. So there's the colors together. So my problem was before that I was doing a gray for the main color and a light pale green for the mohair silk, and it just, you couldn't see it wasn't enough contrast to see the color work. And here's where I've gotten to so far. So I only have maybe 35 rows done. I actually had to put end things on it because I needed to use the needles for something else. So here is my progress. It's coming along nicely, but I just put it away. So I want to pull it back out and put 12 hours in and see where I get to. I really enjoy it. I think it's going to look great when it's done. And we'll go from there. So that is my 6 projects. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to go here now. It's been a half hour already. Like I said, it's going to be a long video because I'm going to put more clips in as we go on. And I'm going to craft. I'm going to craft and I'm going to relax and I'm going to have a nice relaxing day. I have to go up and get my vaccine at work today at 11. I think my appointment's at 11. And so you're going to come along for the ride as far as what I'm going to do with crafting today, and I will check in throughout the day periodically and show you my update on my projects as I work down these timers. So I hope you like this type of idea, and if you are interested, go check out Caroline's video, and I'll see you in the next clip. Hello. I know I already said that earlier today, but it is now about, I don't even know what time it is. Maybe 1:30. I think it's around 1:30. I went and got my vaccine. So far, I have absolutely no symptoms. I did have a little bit of lightheadedness shortly after they gave me the vaccine, which I didn't even feel them give me the shot,
which was kind of surprising, but whatever. I'm not complaining. And then of course, you have to wait around for a while. So I took some knitting with me, worked on my sock, and then I stopped at a few shops on the way home. And then I came home and played my game for a while. So I've been doing some knitting. I've yet to stitch, but I figured I would go ahead and give you an update on where I am so far with my knitting, since I have been doing some knitting today. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around. But before that, so after I give you this update, I'm going to start, I think I'm going to do a little bit of cleaning this afternoon because it's kind of cold. So I'm going to change my clothes. I think I'm going to start here in the dining room. I'm kind of feeling the urge to do some spring cleaning. I have a new shelf that I ordered. I had some Amazon gift cards available to me that I went ahead and ordered a new shelf to replace the shelf that I have here that I think will work better for the space that I have. So I am giving this shelf to my friend who is in need of a bookshelf. So he's going to take the bookshelf. I actually have another one of these as well. So he's going to take the bookshelf. I am going to, it's only a $20 bookshelf from IKEA. So I have a new plant stand arriving tomorrow. So I think I'm going to start here in the dining room and start spring cleaning, dusting, organizing. I saw an ant yesterday on my orchids, so I'm going to put out some ant traps. I want to get a head start on that, on the ants this year. And then go from there. So let me go ahead and turn the camera around and I will show you my update so far. There you go. You can see the game that I'm playing. That is Anno 1800. That's just my main city at right now. Have been playing approximately 6 hours with this game, maybe longer. Oh, probably longer, maybe 10 hours. But mixed throughout, I've been working on my dishcloth. So this dishcloth is, again, Dishy worsted weight in the color Azure, which that there is a pretty good color representation. And I did go ahead and put on a progress marker keeper so you can see where I started today. And I worked on this according to my timer about 35 minutes throughout while I was playing my computer game. And I put in 1, 2, 3, 4 row repeats. So I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 5 more pattern repeats to go and this dishcloth will be done. So I'm averaging just about 8 to 9 minutes per pattern repeat. So this would take me roughly 150 minutes to do the entire dishcloth. That just gives you an estimate for how long it takes. So this one is going to be, if I continue playing my game and knitting it while I work on my game, it'll be knocked out pretty quickly. Then I did take my, and this is going to be kind of awkward because I have to, here, look at my game while I unzip my bag. So this is my sock bag. And I took, here we go, my sock today to work on while I was at the vaccine clinic. And I forgot to put on my progress keeper. I will as soon as I'm done here, but I put in a row, approximately, not approximately, I put in 5 rows while I was at the clinic, which took me 15 minutes. I was also talking to a coworker because it was at work and he was there. And so we were talking and he was talking to me while I was knitting. So I could have been, and I have to fix that. For some reason, there's a little bit of a snag there. I'm going to have to take my snag nabbit and fix that right there. But I put in 5 rows while I was at the vaccine clinic. So that is what I got up to today. This is what I have left to knit. And this is progressing nicely too. I'm glad that the heel is done. Again, I'm still not happy with the way this one is looking compared to the other one, but I'll be happy whenever it's done. It's a pair of socks. You're never going to see the socks. They're always going to be in shoes anyways, so it doesn't really matter. I'm kind of over the frustration level of it, and I'm just going to be happy that I have another full set of socks that I can wear around the house and to work. So there we go. There's my progress keeper. Or not my progress keeper, my stitch marker. And I'm going to continue working on this throughout the weekend. Check in with you a little later. Hi all. I hope you're all doing well. This is the last update of the evening. It is actually 8:05 p.m. It is March 6th. And I did a few more rows. I actually only have one more repeat left to go on my dishcloth. So I've been working on it for roughly an hour and maybe 20 minutes today. And as you can see, this is where I started today, and this is how much I've gotten done. So I have one more repeat to go, and this dishcloth will be done. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up tonight, and this is probably going to wrap it up for the night. So I will finish this up, maybe do a little bit of stitching, but I have yet to stitch today. Actually, I will go ahead and show you. I have gone crazy here in the dining room. Did a lot of cleaning. I scrubbed all the floors and all the woodwork, all the furniture, dusted really well, washed the window, got rid of the shelf because I have my new plant stand coming tomorrow. And I'm super excited about how things are coming out so far. So right now, everything is on the floor in front of the window and looking pretty good. So there we go. So yeah, so that is what I got up to today. That took a lot of the afternoon, and I just have, you know, everything going on here in the dining room. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead and finish up my dishcloth tonight. I might throw a few stitches in my long dog sampler. We'll see how I feel after I get everything done, and we'll go from there. So I hope you all have a great night. Happy crafting, and until I check in with you sometime tomorrow, don't forget to always be creative.